20th and Blake, Coors Field, and the Rockies about ready to get after the Arizona Diamondbacks again, coming off a 4-game sweep with Cincinnati. They're looking to do the same to the D-backs. The Rockies now 14 games above 500 at 78 and 64. Still playing chase in both the National League West and the National League wild card. The Padres that gave up on the Giants. The Rockies sit just 2.5 back, 3.5 back in the wild card. Atlanta won in extra innings yesterday. And good afternoon, everybody. With George Frazier, I'm Drew Goodman. It has been a whole lot of fun. The Rockies trying to make it 10 straight victories today. And I want to take you back, George, to the 7th inning yesterday. Jimenez pitches very well, but the Rockies find themselves in the 7th inning down 1-0, the bottom of the order. Not Tulowitzki, not Carlos Gonzalez. And I think they're the ones that came through yesterday. That's a sign of a really good team.
Well, the thing is, whenever you see what Gonzalez and Tulowitzki are doing, obviously they're going to hog a lot of the headlines along with the pitching staff, but a lot of times it's the team effort that wins a lot of baseball games, and it was last night, Spilly with this huge double out in right center field, and now you got that feeling going because of second and third, something good's going to happen. Oliva with the base hit, that scores more, that puts the ball game tied at 1-1. Then you send up Johnny Herrera, who can do a number of things with the bat, but what's he do? He hits a deep enough fly ball to Chris Young. The winning run comes across. You turn it over to the bullpen, and they win the ball game for you along with these bats in the 7th inning.
Well, Johnny missed a squeeze bunt earlier in that bat, but the reason that Jim Tracy went to Johnny Herrera is what you alluded to, George, his versatility. He puts the defense on edge because he's going to get it in play. Tougher guy to double up. You could squeeze with him. You could hit and run with him. He's really a valuable guy.
The other side of that, too, is he's a switch hitter. So whichever way they went out of their bullpen, he can go to either side, and he's just probably efficient to both sides. You know, in other words, he's going to hit about 280 on both sides of the plate. He can bunt very well from both sides of the plate. He can hit and run from both sides of the plate. So that's the advantage of running him up there at that time.
You know, I asked him that very question a couple of hours ago in the clubhouse. I said, did it matter to you which side you came up from? He goes, no, I'm comfortable on both sides. Yeah. And you know what? It's not just a player speaking. His actions have borne out that statement this year. Johnny Herrera, the game-winning RBI last night. This afternoon, the Rockies will hand the baseball to Yolis Chacin, and that has been a real good thing. Game of baseball, that means a productive team, and the Rockies have been the most productive team in baseball the last 9 days. They have won 9 consecutive. Back upstairs with George Frazier, I'm Drew Goodman. The pitching matchup this afternoon, Yoli Chacin for the Rockies against another young right-hander who's got talent, Ian Kennedy. For Chacin, if you're a Rockies fan, you probably have an awful lot of confidence in him when he takes a hill, and, well, you should.
Well, you should have a lot of confidence in Chacin. The reason why is because of the fastball command that he's had. His record 8-9, the earned run average is 365, the lowest, I'm being told, of a Rockies starter in a long, long time this far, this deep into the season. Well, why has he been good? I think it's been not only his fastball command, it's also been his ability to throw the hard slider when he's ahead in counts or behind in counts. He's able to throw the ball by people, but it's every pitch. It's the changeup, which was really his earmark coming to the big leagues this year. Well, why not? Let's make him our Wells Fargo player to bank on today as the opponents. You look at these rookie numbers, phenomenal. 223 average, first in all of baseball, 117 strikeouts, third, and his 8 wins are tied for third.
Well, the 223 batting average really gets
Ridiculous.
your attention. I'll give you one even better. Since the All-Star break, the league's hitting just over 200 against Yoli Chacin. So that's a pitching matchup. The Rockies look to make it 10 straight, look to sweep the Arizona Diamondbacks. Come on back to Coors Field with us. Ball on FSN is brought to you by Quest High-Speed Internet. Get blazing fast speeds and won't burn up your wallet. By E470, use E470 and you'll get to the airport with time to spare. By the Ford Escape, so much fun, so little fuel. Ford Escape, drive one. And by College Invest, helping Colorado families save for college. The Dogs on the Barbie, and we're ready for a little hardball. Rockies at Diamondbacks, and first pitch is brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Text keyword pizza followed by a space, and you're named to 95323 to receive your Domino's special offer to be entered to win a pizza party for 12. Chacin to Stephen Drew, and the afternoon is underway with strike one. Drew 2 for 9 lifetime against Yoli Chacin. Chacin won his last outing against the Cincinnati Reds. He went 6 innings, allowing just a couple of runs on 6 hits, struck out 5 and walked 1.
Turned it around too against Arizona. You see those numbers, 2-1, 221 earned run average. In 20 1/3, he's punched out 25 and walked just 6. 25 strikeouts, not surprising since Arizona leads all of baseball in that category. A lot of their
big
big hitters have really struggled during the month of September. Drew's hitting 200, LaRoche 200, Montero 233, Reynolds 045.
And this is 3-1, and that is on the heels of a very productive August in which they went 16-13. 3 balls and a strike on the selective Stephen Drew, and that's on the corner. 3-2.
Jerry Davis, a very good umpire, veteran umpire, that will allow you to work corner to corner. Now, he won't let you get outside and get a lot of pitches called strikes, but he will let you work corner to corner. Gets into the ball game. Very low, so he'll give you the low strike at times.
And a base hit to right for Stephen Drew. I'll bring up Chris Young. Let's take a look at the rest of the Diamondbacks lineup. Young hitting in that 2 spot. Then Kelly Johnson. He's entrenched himself in the 3 hole. Kelly Johnson will be followed by Adam LaRoche, Miguel Montero, Mark Reynolds, who had yesterday off, save for a pinch hitting spot late in the ball game. Brandon Allen, Gerardo Parra, and Ian Kennedy. That's a lineup for Kirk Gibson, the interim skipper of the Diamondbacks. So Young, not your prototypical number 2 hitter. I mean, he has a lot of power. Everybody knows that. But usually your 2-hole hitter's a guy that gets the ball in play, will bunt some, will hit behind the runner, and it does not, again, punch out a lot. But Young has punched out close to 130 times this year.
Yeah, most 2-hole hitters don't have 25 home runs either.
Yep.
If they do, they're in a pretty good lineup.
It's usually an all-star lineup. That's top foul.
Well, let's take a look at the numbers, overall numbers on Yolis. You see that he's so far 8-9 with a 365 earned run average. As a starter, he is 8-8 as a starter with a 353 earned run average. He did work out of the bullpen, 117 strikeouts, 2-to-1 ratio, better than 2-to-1 ratio with 51 walks. You mentioned the success he's had against Arizona. Total innings pitched 20 1/3. His record 2-1 over that span with 25 strikeouts. Arizona's hit just 173 against him this year. Right-handers are hitting just a $191.
Drew just an occasional base stealer. Good breaking ball, 1-2.
You know, he's one of those guys by the end of the year, you look up, he's got 10.
Right.
11. Probably could get more if he wanted to. But he's a comfortable 5 to 10 base stealer, but he swings the bat so well in the leadoff spot.
Yeah, so again, you know, they don't have the prototype, George, in the leadoff spot. They don't have the prototype in the 2-hole. Stephen Drew's a fine hitter, but you probably like a guy with a little more speed up top. Young's hit leadoff before. He just hit into a 6-4-3. Two outs. Rockies leading the National League in double plays. In the outfield, Cargo's back in there in left field. Dexter Fowler in center, Seth Smith in right. Mora, Tulowitzki, Eric Young, Todd Helton, Chris Iannetta doing the catching this afternoon. Miguel Olivo has been catching the vast majority over the last week and a half, as he's been really swinging the bat well again. 166 turns now for the Rockies. Kelly Johnson takes outside. Two 2-0 on Johnson. He's 2 for 8 lifetime against Chassin. At the knees. That's a good pitch. Downhill plane, George. We always talk about it with pitchers. That pitch had it.
Well, a lot of times what happens with Yolis, he'll get in a situation where he starts to have a little bit too much tilt to the backside, and as he starts to come forward, he'll have a head jerk. In other words, his head jerks to the left or first base side, and that eliminates this downward plane that Drew's talking about. When the head stays silent, shoulders stay fairly level, it's as nasty as anybody in baseball. He gets a walk here to Johnson.
So a 5-pitch walk to Johnson. That'll bring up Adam LaRoche. Toyota Diamond Details brought to you by your neighborhood Toyota stores. Home winning percentage in Major League Baseball. The Rockies right behind the Braves. Braves at 51-20. And then the Rockies have won 49 times. The Twinkies in their new ballpark are 48-23. And the Yankees have a great home record.
I really think the Twin situation, the fans really play a big role with them because it's a brand new ballpark, sold out all the time.
Adam LaRoche takes a strike. The Rockies have a shift on for LaRoche. 30-year-old from Fort Scott, Kansas. Her dad was a big leaguer, big league pitcher. Teammate of George Frazier at one point, Dave LaRoche.
La la.
And pitch just off the plate, 1-1.
You know, you mentioned those 49 wins. The Rockies have a chance to equal, or pass, I should say, the 1996 record of 55 wins at home. They went 55-26 that year. Unfortunately, they went 28-53 out on the road. 07 and 09, the two playoff teams, 151. I think I'll bet the house that they will beat that with 49 right now.
Yeah. You would think so. Here's the 1-1. That's in there, 1-2. LaRoche is made out nicely for a 29th round pick back in 2000 of the Atlanta Braves. Broke in with Atlanta in 2004, hit 13 home runs and 324 at bats, solid .278 average. Swung on and missed, and that is the first strikeout of the afternoon for Yoli Chacin. There was a hit and a walk, a man left aboard, and we'll see the Rockies on offense when we come back. No scores. We go to the bottom of the first. Let's see the Rockies offensively. Jim Tracy's lineup. We'll have Eric Young up top. He's hitting .342 in home ball games this year, and he's got an on-base percentage just around .400 at home. That's outstanding. Dexter Fowler will follow. Then Carlos Gonzalez back in there leading the National League at .335. Troy Tulowitzki at .324 next. Todd Helton, Melvin Morris, Seth Smith, Chris Iannetta, and Yoli Chacin against the Southern California native Ian Kennedy. Rockies just recently saw Kennedy. In fact, in 5 innings, they got 10 hits against him, only 3 runs.
Now, there's the overall numbers in 28 starts, 9-9, throwing 173 innings, but he's pitched 3 different ball games against the Rockies. His record's 0-1, but the club's won 2 out of those 3 starts against the Rockies. He's been hot. Last 5 starts, 3-0 with a .212 earned run average, 34 strikeouts in 34 innings.
He gets a strike there, 1-2. He has a 5.06 ERA in those 3 games this year against Colorado. But George is right. He's coming off, in fact, maybe his best performance of the year. He had a no decision against the Giants, but he had 8 shutout innings. He allowed only 2 hits. Walked 2, struck out 6. Two and 2 on EY. Eric Young yesterday, 2 hits and 3 trips, also a walk. Fastball rides high. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Eric Young. Fowler also had a productive day yesterday. He was 1 for 3 and a sac bunt. He waits on deck. And ball 4. So Eric Young will head to first. And let's take a look at the Diamondbacks defensively. Brandon Allen again is in left field. Chris Young in center. Gerardo Parra is in right. Reynolds with his 18 errors at third base. Stephen Drew, Kelly Johnson up the middle. Adam LaRoche, reputation for a good glove, though he's made 11 errors this year. Miguel Montero is behind the plate. This is a little different deal for Eric Young this afternoon. Rodrigo Lopez, veteran, holds runners very well, and George slide step every time with a runner on first. And the slowest he was to the plate yesterday was 1-1-6. Ian Kennedy's good, but he's not that good.
He's not that good. You're going to see a slide step, but is it going to affect what Kennedy has done? Because once you come from the American League, a lot of times you don't utilize the side step as much slide step because you don't have that many base stealers. It could work to the advantage of everyone. The other thing Lopez did good yesterday, he just held the baseball. He didn't do anything. Kind of freeze the runner in that pose, that statue pose at first base, is trying to steal a base.
Well, while you're watching at home, first 2 pitches from Ian Kennedy were slide steps. In other words, he didn't lift that left leg. He won't always do that. Rodrigo Lopez did every time he had Eric Young at first.
Now, a lot of good pitchers will vary what they do. There's the snap throw over to first. Now, a lot of guys won't show the A move. They'll give you the C and D, and then occasionally gradually move the velocity of their footwork and their arm up as they get farther along on the pickoffs. Rick Sutcliffe was a master at that. I think what's hard sometimes is when you get a pitcher that throws 5, 6, 7 times over there. It disrupts the runner, that's true. It also disrupts the defense and disrupts the batter's rhythm as he stands at home plate.
There goes Young, and it's fouled off. That, in fact, was a hit and run, George. He had a good pitch to swing at. That was center cut.
Well, one thing as a young player, you need to be alert to the fact that once you do get in a hit and run situation and it doesn't work, as you go back to the first base bag, EY did this all the way back to first. He looked at Richie Dyer the entire time. Because a lot of times this is where the other team is looking at their coach, what are we going to do defensively? The catcher's looking, what are we doing on a throwing? The pitcher's looking. So nobody's looking really at the third base coach or you as a base runner, and it's the best time to give the next sign.
No movement, strike 3. He froze him with a breaking ball, and Dexter Fowler's gone. 1 out. That'll bring up Cargo. Carlos Gonzalez. Who wants tacos? Fans, remember, when the Rockies score 7 or more during any ball game, go to Taco Bell the next day between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. So Gonzalez got yesterday off, save a 9th inning appearance defensively in left field. 1 for 3. A home run against Ian Kennedy. Pretty nice when you can look at the Sunday newspaper and the top 2 guys in hitting in the National League happen to hit 3 and 4 for your club. Gonzalez number 1, Tulowitzki number 2. Tulo at 324. Joey Votto is 3rd at 320. 2-0 as we take a look at the Amica hit zone on Carlos Gonzalez. Amica, it's not how you're covered, it's how you're treated.
Well, even a blue is not bad, except that hard sinker down and away from him, and some of that's a slider, because when we show this to you folks, it doesn't separate left from right. It's just all pitches faced and what he's done.
2-0. He fed him a breaking ball, and it's 2-1. Off the corner, 3-1. Kennedy has fallen behind Gonzalez. We're in the first inning, no score. Rockies winners of 9 straight, taking on the Diamondbacks. They'll see them for 3 more ball games this year in Phoenix, next week in fact. 8-6 so far against the Diamondbacks. Runner going, swung on and missed, and the throw to second gets Young. Just the 3rd time Eric Young has been caught.
Well, everything really worked together there. I mean, he's taken off. He did glance back. I don't think the hit and run was on, though. He had his head down pretty much looking at the bag coming in on the Hyundai cam. See, tag applied right on that hand. Knocked it away as it came in to the second base bag.
3rd time since he's come back up. 5th time overall. And that's low. So Gonzalez now goes to first. Continuing to exhibit that good patience. Tulowitzki hitting .360 against Arizona this year. So it's not only the 2 guys leading the league in hitting, George. In particular against Arizona, Gonzalez and Tulowitzki have torn the cover off the ball. And Tulo moved back 1-0. 5 home runs for Tulowitzki against Arizona this year. And for Gonzalez, he's got 5 home runs against the Diamondbacks in 2010. Ground ball through the hole, base hit. And they'll pass the baton now to Todd Helton. 2 on with 2 outs, and Helton is 4 for 8 lifetime against Kennedy.
And this is where he gets pretty tough, talking about Kennedy with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. All year long, the opposition has only been able to hit .211 against him. Helton has stepped it up, 7 for 17, a .412 average with 9 RBIs with runners in scoring position of late.
And Todd had most of yesterday off also. He played in the 8th and 9th inning on defense for Jason Giambi.
If you're wondering why Montero stepped out and gave his direction of where he was going to throw the baseball, he's going to go to third, am I going to go to second? Because the Rockies have done this a couple of times with these 2 guys. They will try to steal second and third with Gonzalez and Tulowitzki.
1 ball, no strikes. Ian Kennedy's next pitch will be his 20th here in the 1st inning. Two and 0. Two balls, no strikes. And that's outside. 3-0 with Melvin Moore on deck. And now they're loaded up for more. Third walk of this 1st inning for Ian Kennedy. And coming in, he'd walked only 62 in 173 innings. Yeah. Pretty solid.
Yeah, been very solid around the plate with all of his pitches. Maybe it's just playing against one of the hottest teams in all of baseball, particularly in their home ballpark. Now, realizing that, feeling he's got to be just absolutely perfect. It's cost him here.
Great opportunity here for the Rockies. Melvin Moore has driven in 30. Big swing and a miss. Mora playing every day now with Ian Stewart on the disabled list with the oblique injury. And though Stewart gives you that top shelf power, and he's such a brilliant glove at third and has a wonderful future, one of the differences, this ball's fouled off, between Mora and Stewart is Stewart strikes out a bunch. Melvin Mora, not that he won't strike out, strikes out at a much lower rate. So the ball's put in play, which naturally if the ball's in play you have a greater chance of success. Mora strikes out once every 7.1 at bats. Stewart once every 3.6 at bats.
Yeah, well, that's all true. And I think the other thing, the big difference is Stewart's got a little more pop in the bat. I mean, he can leave the yard when he's healthy and on time.
Well, hard ground ball, but it's stabbed by Kennedy. He's going to work out of it. So the Rockies leave him loaded in the first inning. We'll go to the second, scoreless. Out of the 5 spot will lead things off for Arizona. Take a look at our Breaks Plus Take a Break poll of the game. This question actually is not right. Would you like to hear Tom? No, never mind. Which is more important to his team, a closer or place kicker? That's an interesting one on the first full Sunday of NFL action. Season began on Thursday with New Orleans and Minnesota getting together. Rocks 1 for closer. It's one-way street. Rocks 2 for place kicker. Goal-oriented. That's our Breaks Plus Take a Break poll of the game. He's going to try to get Helmer to sing again.
Well, I think he should sing either way. I think. I told him I want him to go back to the 70s. You know, everybody's wanting to move him on up to the 90s. I said, let's go 70s.
You know, I don't know how distinctive the music was in the 90s. I mean, the 70s kind of iconic now.
And Jeff was a little upset because he didn't get to dance with him. He didn't want to sing, but Jeff wanted to dance. But he didn't want to sing.
We can revisit that later. 2 balls and a strike on Montero. Down 3-1. Some deep counts in the first inning for Chacin. Steven drew on a 3-2 pitch single, and he lost Kelly Johnson on a 3-1 delivery.
Well, both pitchers worked deep. The 3 walks by Kennedy drove his count up, and then of course now with Yolis, his count at 23. One thing that kind of bothers you out of those 24 pitches thrown out, 12 for strikes, 12 for balls.
Three and 2 on Montero. And ball 4. So another walk. Let's take a look at our Geico quote of the day. Baseball is the only game left for people. To play basketball now, you have to be 7 feet 6 inches. To play football, you have to be the same width. The late Bill Veeck. Does seem that way.
Yeah, all sizes can play baseball. Doesn't matter. You got talent, you can play a little bit. You don't just you don't see. Who was the guy, the little bitty point guard that played for Atlanta?
Spud Webb. Yeah.
You don't see many 5'6" guys now playing in the NBA anymore.
This is popped up.
Boy, this is one of those. If you're in Anfield, Todd Helton's trying to take command of it. Tulowitzki's coming over with him. He's going to take it. This high sky is absolutely miserable to try to catch a ball the way it is now. When I say high sky, obviously the sky's high, but in baseball you say high sky because of the perception of the flight of the baseball.
Let me ask you something. For you in that situation, you have a guy in Chacin that's fallen behind hitters. Would you have preferred early in the game Mark Reynolds to see a pitch there, or is it okay? No, you know what? Maybe he'll throw me a cookie and get me over fastball because he has been falling behind.
He's 0-73 in September, struggling, and I think that if he saw a pitch he could handle, swing it away. He's got a lot of home runs. You know you're going to punch out. He does that. That's just part of it. And I can live with his strikeouts because he's going to hit the ball out of the ballpark and he's going to drive runs in when it matters. But tough to handle the average when he gets around 200. And he's really, like I said, 0-76 in the month of September. It's not been good.
And it's 2-0 on Brandon Allen.
That's a great poll question today because you start to think about it. Obviously, you got to have the closer. You got to have a guy that can kick a field goal at the end with 2 seconds left. Kick the distance. I think probably the only thing you'd want to closer more is because they're exposed more. It's over a 60-game time frame, but it's still a matter of winning a game and a percentage of it. Just like a football player with 16-game NFL schedule, he may win you 5 games, 6 games, or more. I don't know how those guys do that.
You know, it's an interesting comparison. It's a great question, honestly, because they expect you to make the game-winning kick unless, you know, it's like 55 yards or something. And the closer's expected to put down the 9th inning. And it's like, okay, well, they're supposed to do that. And the only time you pay attention is when they miss the kick or they blow the save.
Let me ask this question.
2-2.
I don't know what's acceptable, and then maybe there's something on the internet. You can look it up.
Percentage.
For a closer, if you're 90 to 95 or 95%, you're one of the elite guys in the league. So what's the percentage on a field goal kicker?
Well, it depends. Inside 40 yards, George.
Well, whatever. I mean, to
much.
win a game, I mean, what is it? If it's between 30 and 40 yards, do you need to be 100% to keep your job?
Well, you better be pretty darn close in this day and age. Tulowitzki will get this one also. 2 outs. In this day and age, inside 40 yards, it's about 95% for those guys, especially in the NFL, because the hash marks are narrower in the NFL. So there's not a tougher angle, the wider hash marks in college, George. So you got to be right on. And you get out beyond that, and the percentage, you're allowed every once in a while.
It should drop unless you're at altitude. I mean, who was the guy here that's kicking them from 70 yards? I mean, it's a joke.
Jason Elam, the best kicker the Broncos ever had, kicked that 67-yarder to match Tom Dempsey. 0-1 on Para. One ball, one
By
set.
the way, you're going to find this interesting, Drew. The all-time record, Mike Vanderjagt, 86% on field goals.
That's
highest percentage.
Right, and that's everywhere. I mean, that includes, that's not just inside 40. Fouled off 1 and 2. Then Mike Vanderjagt got to running his mouth a little bit too much, especially in the offseason, about Peyton Manning, which probably not a real prudent thing to do.
That's where you look and your wife looks at you and goes, zippy, zippy, watch the game. Do you like where you are? Do you like the rings? And do you like the bonuses?
Yeah, it's a little bit too late, though. One and 2 on Para. You want to get him, the 8th place hitter, and then have the pitcher leading off next inning. 2 and 2. Chacin striking out better than a hitter an inning. One of the top marks, in fact, in baseball. Here's the 2-2, and a slow roller that Chacin will glove and flip to Todd Helton. Nicely done after a leadoff walk to Miguel Montero. Middle of 2, no score. Seth Smith will begin things for the Rockies. To hit against Ian Kennedy. Today's kid question is brought to you by Promoting Responsible Fatherhood. Be there for your kids. It matters. Let's check in with Alana Rizzo. Alana?
All right, guys, thanks very much. Right outside the Coors Clubhouse, I'm here with Jack and Connor Hockey. And Connor, I understand that you have a question for the guys in the booth. Go ahead.
I was wondering why they picked Tulowitzki during the draft.
All right, so Troy Tulowitzki is the 7th pick, and he's chosen by the Colorado Rockies. What do you think Colorado saw in number 2, guys? We'll send it back inside Coors Field.
Well, I tell you, I know they saw leadership capabilities. They also saw a great player. Who was it we were talking to? Jack Zielinski. That's who it was. We were talking to him, and he's now the general manager of the Seattle Mariners. And he said, I'm sitting there at the draft going, okay, do I want my guy? I'm drawing a blank. His outfielder that he took as number 1 to play third base, and then he moved him to left field. Do I want him?
Well, he was in Milwaukee. He took Ryan Braun.
Yeah, do I want Ryan Braun or do I want Troy Tulowitzki? And I'm going, you know what? Hey, either one of these guys are going to be really, really good. Which one do I want to take? And obviously, they both worked out. And he said it's not often. And his big thing was, don't miss on a number 1 draft pick. You cannot miss on a number 1 draft pick. And if you look at, particularly a guy that's, if you have one of the 10 top picks, you just can't miss on one of those guys. And if you look around, it's pretty obvious what's going on here, too. You got Helton, Tulowitzki, Stewart, 3 number 1 draft picks. Jeff Francis, a 4th, that's gotten to the big leagues. So, that's a pretty good percentage as you look at it. Houston Street, a number 1 draft pick.
Yeah, I'll give you another guy that was a number 1 talent, but the Rockies and the rest of baseball realized he was going to be a big number, and some folks shied away, and that's Dexter Fowler. The Rockies took in the 14th round. Here's the 1-1, fouled off by Olivo, is now in there. Now, Iannetta was catching, so he was announced as well, but Olivo's hitting, so something happened to Chris Iannetta. 1-2 on Miguel. 2-2. We'll have to check that out. There's the lineup card, and they haven't even replaced Iannetta yet, so this just went down. Two. So Olivo is gone, and that'll bring up Yoli Chassin. That was not a pinch hit, and shame on us. We didn't notice, with the gear on, and in the second inning, I guess Olivo was behind the plate, not Chris Iannetta. I know Chris was behind the plate initially.
Had an umpire covering him up. We didn't see it.
Chassin hits a pop-up down the right field line. Parra coming on, and he'll make the catch. 1-2-3, second inning for Ian Kennedy. No scores. We go to the 3rd. Visit wellsfargo.com/Rockies for 2-for-1 club level seats. And by Hyundai, the fastest growing car in America, Hyundai. So Miguel Olivo behind the plate. We'll try to find out, as we said, what happened to Chris Iannetta. Ian Kennedy will lead things off in the third inning. With the expanded rosters, there's no shortage of catchers. The Rockies have Paul Phillips and Michael McHenry as well. Oh, 0-2. Year-old Yoeli Chacín. Since his return to the rotation 5 starts ago, he has a 3-1 record, 2.61 ERA, and the opposition hitting just 207. And that's served to right by Kennedy for a base hit. Let's go outside the box with Jack in the box. Longest winning streaks in baseball this year. The Rangers won 11 straight in June, and the White Sox won 11 straight to turn their season around in late June. 10-game winning streaks. You can't imagine the Dodgers having done it the way they're playing right now, but back in May
they got hot and got back in it.
Yeah, and the Braves did all that work at home. So the Rockies a chance to join that grouping if they can win today and produce their 10th victory in a row. Stephen Drew had a base hit. Hilton playing behind the pitcher Kennedy. A little more range at first, and that curveball just missed. You know, it's interesting. Stephen Drew, as he walked back into the batter's box, George, looked down at Joel Youngblood because, you know, you're supposed to. But what on earth could have been on with the pitcher at first?
No, it's more just about habit. I mean, as a hitter, it's a habit thing where you just walk up, you always glance down. You're told to glance down as a little kid when you start playing. It just kind of carries over.
Yeah, and that's why I described it as such. It's like he knows he has to do it, and it's like he almost forgot. And he made sure as he walked in to get settled, he took the quick glance down at Joel Youngblood because it is habit, and it should be habit.
Yeah, Kennedy at first base, pretty good athlete. I mean, he swung the bat well in high school and college. I mean, he knows how to run the bases. It's not like sticking somebody out there that doesn't have a clue to the base paths.
No, he was a very good high school hitter. Got that scouting report from Ian Stewart. 2-2. Swung on and missed, and Drew is dismissed. Second strikeout for Chacín.
Well, watch on the Hyundai cam how this Yellowhammer comes right over the top. That good downward spin going into the home plate area. Just swung right over the top of it for a strikeout.
First time through the lineup. 40 pitches for Yolis. 3 ground balls, a couple of hits. Chris Young at the plate. Young grounded into a 6-4-3, and he takes a strike. That's in. 1-1. Boy, that's nasty. He went around, didn't he? Yes, he did. 1-2. That was a hard slider, George.
He has that. That's one pitch he's developed. When he first came out of Casper, Wyoming, rookie ball, he had a very good changeup, very good fastball.
but was lacking the breaking ball, and that's something he has developed in the last 2 years.
Defense set for 2. Here's the 1-2. Through another fastball that's up and away. 2-2. See if he revisits the slider here. And this could be 2 also. Eric Young, wild throw. And Chacin.
Well, that's one of those things as a pitcher, when you catch the baseball, make sure you have your feet under you, make sure that you're squared so the ball doesn't tail. And you had time to get the one out. I know you get in a hurry to get the double play, but it's where you had time to get the one out. So make sure you get the one out and then let Eric Young worry about it. But see how far off the bag that he was. There wasn't an opportunity for EY to get to this baseball, and it sailed well into the outfield. EY gave a great effort to try to catch the ball. Dexter flags it, but you got first and third now and only one out. First error in his career for Chacin at the big league level.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good athlete, and Jim Tracy was talking before the ball game about how well he's handled all aspects of pitching here in his rookie year. And that's a shame. And I think the operative term you used there is make sure you get the first out. You hear that, it's a baseball cliche. But get that guy at second. You had a plus runner who hit the ball, and Chris Young.
But he's a guy at first you got to pay attention to, because this would be a chance where Kirk Gibson might throw the steal out to get that other runner into second. So then you have the base hit. You got your 3-hole hitter up in Kelly Johnson. He walked in his previous at bat, but he does have 60 RBI. So we'll have to see if Kirk Gibson tries to start some offensive moves here.
Here's the 1-0 to Kelly Johnson, and stepping off the back is Chacin.
Well, the other thing they're doing, they're trying to really pinch the gaps with right field and center field. You see kind of a wide gap from here to here. But when you start to get over here, it's kind of like they're trying to pinch. He's off the line. Smitty is off the line in right field. And they're trying to pinch that gap, because that's something that Kelly Johnson does. But he doesn't pull the ball that often. See the difference of how far Smitty is off of this line here than maybe say what you say Gonzalez is.
(2-0), and it's 3-0. So after the error, Chacin hasn't hit the strike zone with Kelly Johnson. You wonder if that has anything to do with the next 3 pitches. Ball 4, and now they're loaded up for Adam LaRoche.
And you're going to get a visit from Bob Apodaca out of the Rockies dugout. If there's anything to see, or more to just calming down, catch your breath, get yourself put back where you need to be. Because now you are in that danger zone of LaRoche with 90 RBIs, Montero, who's a partial season this year, and then Mark Reynolds, the other guy. They're big bops. You got to be careful in this situation.
Repair that chip in your windshield. Call Safelite Auto Glass 303-287-5000 or go to safelight.com.
Dangerous man at the plate with the bases loaded. LaRoche on the season 6 for 16. 1 extra base hit out of those 6 hits. He's at 375.
Chop foul. 1 strike count on LaRoche. Last year he played for 3 different clubs. Began the year with the Pirates. Then he went to Boston briefly and then on to the Atlanta Braves, and he performed well in a Braves uniform. .325 average, 12 home runs. Center field. Here comes Dexter, momentum toward the plate. The throw is not quite in time. And the Diamondbacks have the first run of the ball game as Ian Kennedy scores on the sac fly by LaRoche. Pretty good throw by Fowler.
You know, one thing you do notice here, though, obviously they're going to go for the pitcher, meaning the Rockies are. I'm a little bit surprised here that Young didn't try to tag and go to third base in this instance to force the cut of Helton and allow this run to score. Now, he does beat it, but if this throw does not tail, then you got pretty good play at the plate.
Limit the damage here. Montero at the plate. He walked his first time. For LaRoche, that's his 91st RBI. He leads the Arizona Diamondbacks in that department. On the corner. It's also a career high. He had 90 back with the Braves in 2006. And this is pulled to right, and it's going to get another run home. Chris Young will score. It's a double for Montero. Had to wait to see if Tulowitzki's tag would record an out. 2-0 Arizona, and now that error proves really costly.
Oh, it's huge. It is gigantic right now. Not making the fundamental play on a double play. Looking at a pitch away from him, and Montero got the head of the bat out. It's pulled over into the corner. The fear you run into was it hit hard enough to get all the way into the corner. Maybe 2 runs come around. It does not. You got second and third. There's that snap throw by Smitty out of the outfield. You know what? Limit the damage. You talked about that after the error. It's 2-0 Diamondbacks now. Don't make a mistake on this guy at the plate. He's been struggling. Keep him in that struggle.
And Reynolds waves at that slider.
We've seen 2 pitches. Fastball popped up, slider. Strike 1.
I'm going to read you the list, George, of the worst National League averages on the road this year. This is of guys that play every day. Reynolds is the worst at 187. You're going to be surprised some of the names on this list. 1-1. How about Pablo Sandoval, 207?
Yeah, that's very surprising.
Juan Uribe, third, 209.
2 guys on the Frisco, all 3 of them. How about Cody Ross, too?
Surprising. Derek Leese had a tough year, but still, wouldn't expect him on that kind of list. In the air to center field, and Fowler will have it. Well, an error cost the Rockies and Yoli Chacin a couple of runs. Eric Young, top of the order for the Rockies in the 3rd. That at the end of the night. This date in history is brought to you by Dex One Marketing Solutions Business Results. September 12, 2006, at 39 years and 9 days, Luis Gonzalez becomes the oldest player to hit 50 doubles in a season. The Diamondbacks outfielder surpasses Hall of Famer Tris Speaker, who was 38 and change.
By the way, there's another great date in history. You know what else happened today? It's this guy right here. Yeah, that's the man. It's his birthday. Wave at us, Jack. Come on. It's your birthday. Jack Corrigan on the 850 KO8 and helps out over here on the TV side occasionally. It's his birthday today.
Happy birthday, Jack. One out as Eric Young pops out.
Jerry Schimmel, of course, over here to his left. Where's Mike at? Is Mike hiding in the back? Oh, yeah. See, he wanted to get on. That's his buddy. He just wanted on TV. That's all right, too.
Yeah, that's not Mike.
No.
Dexter Fowler with one out. He struck out looking his first time, and Dexter pops this one up. Yeah, you don't want to do what you did last night, George, and get in a situation where you're having to scramble late in the game for runs.
Well, make sure if you want to bring your group out to the ballpark, not many home dates left, but there's some good ones. You got the San Francisco Giants coming to town. You can have a lot of fun on this next homestand. If you got a group of 25 or more, call the Rockies, 303 Rockies, to reserve seats for your group at the ball yard.
Too quickly gone, and Gonzalez at the plate. Carlos walked his first time up. And he gets a fastball at 92 for a strike.
You know, a lot of pitches that first inning for Kennedy to get through. Then it didn't take hardly any in the second. He's only 5 pitches into this inning. He's got 2 quick outs. Got to fall into that Lopez deal that the Rockies were into last night. Quick outs, low pitch count.
Gargo hitting .473 at home against Arizona this year. Actually, in his career, with 6 home runs. It's in there for a strike, 1 and 2. Today's big hit of the week is brought to you by Mako. 3-run home run Tuesday to get the Rockies off and running against the Reds. Our Mako big hit of the week. No swing.
Didn't think he did. A lot of times fans or the opposition, when you're out on the road or at home, they'll think you went around because of the body language, the big shoulder turn and everything, but he just kept the bat back. Wants everything down. Montero does. See him waving that glove down there, and he did.
Chop to first, and
wow! Again, they got a little problem with that PFP thing working, don't they?
Yeah, you know, LaRoche on a couple of occasions in this series looks like he could have gotten to the bag himself. Strong inning for Kennedy. 40% more for your gold. Again, here's Alana.
Guys, I want to brag a little bit on Jonathan Herrera. Yesterday, he comes into the ballgame in a pinch hit situation, hits the sac fly to drive in the go-ahead game-winning run. Now, I talked to him about that situation yesterday and other situations in which he's come into the ballgame as a defensive replacement. He said, you know, when I'm in the dugout, I'm constantly preparing, whether it's mentally or physically, taking cuts in the cage, in the indoor batting cage, or mentally just trying to figure out in what situation I might be called upon to come in. Maybe it's a pinch hit, a pinch run situation, a defensive replacement. He said, I know what my role is on this team. Any single time Jim Tracy calls upon me to do something, I want to be ready to do it. So he's thinking about the situations ahead of time, guys, looking at the pitching matchups and possibilities as a switch hitter where he might be called upon.
All right, Alana, thank you. He did a terrific job yesterday. He's done a terrific job this year, and most notably, obviously, when Tulowitzki was hurt. That's a strike. 2-2 on Brandon Allen. Allen, then Parra and Kennedy, 7, 8, 9 for the Diamondbacks. Here's the 2-2, swung on and missed. That's the third strikeout. Chacín will now set his focus on Parra.
Well, you'd also like to erase that last inning where the walks, the errors, a couple of runs score on hits. Come back and have a very quick, strong inning here in the fourth, because he's at 68 pitches right now. Just minimize some things, throw strikes, put the ball in play.
23-year-old Gerardo Parra hit .290 last year in the big leagues. .311 in his minor league career. His first year of professional baseball, George, like a lot of Latin players, was in the Dominican Summer League. And he played for Boca Chica, which is where the Rockies complex is situated in the Dominican. And he hit .384. Is that any good?
Well, that's the part about it. A lot of these kids, I mean, and I'm not trying to demean this in any way, but it's the first time they're getting 3 squares every day. They're getting a place to sleep. They're getting taken care of, and they're getting that baseball knowledge of how to play the game and getting expert hitting on how to play the game. And some guys grab it quickly and have success. Other guys struggle with it at times. Obviously, he didn't struggle.
2 outs. Ian Kennedy coming up. He was behind in the count when he punched a single last inning to right field, and that turned out to be really bad news for Chacín. He struck out Stephen Drew. A comebacker by Chris Young, and Chacín fired it into center field. And all of a sudden, instead of maybe out of the inning, or at the very least 2 outs and a man on first, he had first and third, 1 out, walked the bases loaded, sac fly by LaRoche, and a double by Miguel Montero. 2 unearned runs against Chacín last inning. And the Rockies haven't done anything against Kennedy. Just 1 hit.
He's a different guy since the All-Star break. His earned run average, the strikeouts, the record, 5-2 overall, low earned run average since the All-Star break. He's everything that they had anticipated and more, with his second base hit up the middle.
He thinks he's back in high school in Orange County. That'll bring up Stephen Drew with 2 outs. Chance to ask our AT&T trivia question this afternoon. Houston Street holds Colorado's record for save percentage at just beneath 90%. Who held the previous mark? Our AT&T trivia question. Single in the first, a strikeout in the third for Stephen Drew out of Florida State University. And this will be another base hit. Well, he was flying along here in the 4th inning. Now he's got traffic and Chris Young at the plate.
You know, the answer to that trivia question, too, what pitcher has that many saves, I think it's 80 plus, and has thrown a no-hitter in the big leagues? I can think of one other. I think it is there's only one other that has thrown a no-hitter and have a lot of saves in baseball, but I think he's the only National League guy to have over 80 saves and throw a no-hitter.
Derek Lowe.
Derek Lowe's one of them. But Dennis Eckersley.
Dennis Eckersley's in the Hall of Fame.
But in the American League. John Smoltz never threw a no-hitter. A lot of near misses, though.
Inside on Young. The other thing this does with that base hit by Kennedy, George, you're going to have to throw another 10, 12, who knows how many pitches, which may take an inning out of your potential length today.
Plus, the other side of that, now you're hitting at the two-hole Young. We've discussed, Over's discussed the fact that he's not your typical two-hole hitter. But if you get him out, you're right back to the middle of their order again. So.
Yeah, and really with Chris Young hitting the 2 spot, you got to consider it the middle of their order because that's the kind of production he has. 25 home runs, 84 RBIs. And he's got a 2-0 count here. Now he's got a 3-0 count. Boy, this inning's turned quickly, hasn't it?
Well, you've talked an awful lot, and Jim Tracy says this too. I'll let you get in trouble once, get out, I'll let you twice. But if I start to smell that third one, you're not going to have a long time on the mound. He just not big, and that's something Felipe Alou taught him as a manager. Now, that guy gets out there and that third time traffic shows up, you better get him out of the ball game.
3-1. Don't toss your bat yet.
Keeps climbing up there. 81 pitches, and you got 2 outs in the 4th and a 3-1 count.
And they're loaded up.
See, on the other side of this, after 2 quick outs by strikeouts, and all of a sudden you do get the bases loaded. Now to minimize that damage, whoever you get up needs to go quick. Because all of a sudden you give up a couple of base hits, this ball game all of a sudden is a 5-6-0 ball game, and you can't have that.
The Rockies, if they have to go to the pen early, and hopefully Chacín gets out of it, he's able to turn this thing around. But if they have to go to the pen early, see the guy getting up right now, Rogers, who's their long haul guy. You have a guy going tomorrow in Jeff Francis who's not stretched out, swung on and missed.
Well, I would expand bullpen, and this is something I will give an awful lot of credit to Jim Tracy about. Previous people didn't operate this way. You don't worry about tomorrow till the sun comes up. He's trying to win today's ball game any way he can.
And a ground ball toward the hole. Eric Young needs help. Chacín, did he get the bag? Yes. That was well coordinated. That was not an easy play. 4-1 puts the inning down without any damage. It remains 2-0 Arizona. Today's health report brought to you by the Exemplis St. Joseph Cardiac and Vascular Institute. The most hearts, the most experience. Ian Stewart has a strained oblique. He was making his way back, but about 5 days ago, he strained his oblique again, felt it again, swinging the bat. There's no timetable for his return. He's been running a little bit, but baseball activities have been put on hold. 18 home runs, 60 driven in for Stewart. In his place, Melvin Moore has been getting a ton of time at third. Tulowitzki singled through the hole in to left field his first time up, and he takes a strike from Ian Kennedy. Eight September home runs for Tulowitzki. Nobody else has more than 5. 0-2. He also has 17 RBIs, which is 3 more than number 2 on the September list, Chase Utley. He owns a home run in his career against Kennedy. 3 for 8 against Kennedy. And a ground ball that Kelly Johnson handles.
Hey, we wanted to say hi to all of you watching Rockies baseball today out in Rapid City, South Dakota. That's right. Thanks for all your texts on Tuesdays, participating in our Breaks Poll Plus questions every ball game. And from all of us at FSN Rocky Mountain, thanks again for watching.
Up in Rapid City. Take Rockies fans anywhere. I know some folks up in the Dakotas make their way down.
It seems like middle of the summer a little bit more than right now. You get a lot of people come down from South Dakota to watch the ball games.
Yeah, North Dakota tends to be Minnesota fans.
Right.
0-1 on Helt. 8 in a row set down by Kennedy. And he's working ahead of everybody. Look at the contrast. It was yesterday also. Jimenez had a lot of deep pitch counts. Rodrigo Lopez was cruising along. Well, right now, Kennedy's thrown just 48 pitches.
We're talking about South Dakota in 1970 on a high school team. We won the state championship in American Legion ball, and we went there for the national regionals in Aberdeen, South Dakota to play. Stayed in the campus, stayed up in the dorms there. That was a long time ago, wasn't it? 70? Was that a long time ago?
For me, it was. Todd hits a little flare to left field. Brandon Allen will come on and make the catch. 2 outs. That's 9 in a row that Kennedy's retired. Last base runner was Helton's walk in the first inning. Rockies loaded the bases in the first with 2 outs. Melvin Mora hit a comebacker. Here's Melvin now.
Not a bad idea. Got everybody playing back. You got a couple of outs. Why not? Yeah, you'd want to when you get a guy that's sent down 9 in a row, 10 in a row like this, and what you want to do is break his rhythm. Obviously, he's in one, so you want to try to split things up, do some different things with him to try to force an issue to where he really is having a tough time. Obviously, it's been pretty easy so far.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Kind of been a 2-pitch mix today. It's been fastball, curveball from Kennedy, occasional cutter. Showing a changeup for a strike yet. The last was a ball. The fastball, not in the location he wanted it, but it was at 90 and in.
Two and 2 on Mora with 2 outs. Nobody on for the Rockies in the 4th. Down 2-0.
Well, you know, these guys do a great job, you know, and they're trying to keep play going and speeding, and your feet get going too fast. Trying to get out of the way. I don't want to get hit with a foul ball. I'm trying to get the ball back.
Nobody saw. He went around. Mora's gone, and the Rockies are gone in the 4th inning. 10 in a row set down by Ian Kennedy. Careful. Fargo customers visit wellsfargo.com/Rockies for 2-for-1 club level seats. By Xfinity, learn to advertise your business on cable. Go to ComcastSpotlight.com. And by your neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, moving forward. At Coors Field, the Rockies trailing the Arizona Diamondbacks 2-0. Top of the 5th inning, Adam LaRoche, Miguel Montero, Mark Reynolds. The 2 runs came in the 3rd inning, both unearned. And Chacin is the one who committed the error, and Chacin is no longer in the ballgame after 4 innings. He's gone, and he's been replaced by Esmil Rogers.
Calm things down. You got a 2-0 lead. Obviously, Jim Tracy wasn't liking what he was seeing. He'd had traffic in the 1st, couple of runners. He got unscathed to the 3rd, then the 4th with bases loaded, and decided to change it out. 21 appearances on the season, an earned run average at .522, 49 strikeouts. And we're going to come in here and try to calm it down. That ball was smoked by LaRoche, unable to recover and get the out.
Good job staying with that play by Eric Young. Kind of a strange line for Yoli Chacin. He goes 4 innings. He allows 2 runs, no earned runs, 5 hits. He walks 4, and he strikes out 4. And in terms of starts,
that's not one of his better ones.
That is his shortest start of the year. One 1-0 on Montero. And he loops a base hit to left center field. Now Mark Reynolds will hit. Montero's been perfect today. A walk, a double, and a single. Reynolds popped out and hit a fly ball to center field. Oh, for his last 21 at the plate, he takes strike 1. Product of the University of Virginia. Since he debuted mid-May of 2007, he's hit more home runs than any other third baseman in the National League. for 121. Giants have taken a 2-0 lead at Petco in the second inning. That's Lincecum against Latos. Atlanta and St. Louis, a night game. 1-2. One out, Rogers in relief of Chacin, and he strikes out Mark Reynolds. 2 outs in the 5th inning. And that'll bring up Brandon Allen. The word on Chris Iannetta, he has a strained left calf. Strained left calf, and that's why he had to leave the ball game. I don't remember specifically him running anywhere defensively. Hard to figure out where it happened, but a strained left calf. And that can be, depending on its severity, that could be a very debilitating injury.
There's no question.
One that takes a while to get back. Any of those back of the leg injuries, even when you think you feel good, you try to move explosively and it grabs again. Hamstrings, calves take a while. Ground ball foul, which means that Miguel Olivo, who naturally loves to play, is going to have to play virtually every day, George.
Well, you got a little bit of fortunate here because you do have Phillips here. Paul Phillips, a veteran guy. And you got McHenry, another guy that's just called up. It has not to have a lot of experience at the big league level, but Paul does. And so that's where if you need to hand it, need to pinch hit, pinch run late in games, whatever you might have to do, or give a day off to Olivo. It gives you a chance to do that with that veteran present in Paul Phillips. And who knows? It may have just been something Iannetta felt, got him out of there in time and ice it up, feel better in the morning, be ready to go.
One and two on Brandon Allen. Rogers puts Allen down, and that's the end of the 5th inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th with the Rockies trailing 2-0. Fifth inning, the Rockies have not had a base runner since Todd Helton walked in the 1st inning. And Seth Smith I don't know if I've ever seen that before,
just
George.
the same thing. I've never seen that.
Well, that really tells you that Kennedy must have exceptionally good stuff if Smith's trying to bunt his way on. Olivo on deck.
Well, back-to-back hitters try to bunt their way on. You remember Melvin Moore tried to drop one first pitch he saw. Now you see Seth Smith doing the same thing. Tell you what, when you've won 10 in a row, though, and you play great baseball like this, 9 in a row, and you're playing great baseball like this, you expect to win the 10th. As a manager, you're just waiting for it to break out, waiting for it to happen. Yesterday, it was the bottom of the order. Right now, you don't really care which part of the order comes in and does anything.
Three and one on Smith. Olivo next. And then Rogers. This is hit high in the air to deep center field. Did Smith get it?
Thought so, the way Young was acting a little bit. Kind of went up, looked high into the sky, kind of turned around a little bit, and I thought, you got this thing.
420 foot out. Looking to save energy and money? Find out how the little changes add up at TogetherWeSave.com, your local Touchstone Energy cooperative delivering reliable power, energy-saving tools, and more. So Olivo, who came into the ball game after the first inning defensively when Iannetta strained his calf, with his second at bat. He struck out in his first at bat. Wow, he swung at a pitch that I thought was going to hit him. That pitch was boring in on Olivo, and he took a hack at it. If he doesn't move, it may have hit him.
Really does. Look on the Hyundai cam right here when you get that. Oh, get this thing away from me.
Did he foul that off, or did it hit him? Because it would strike either way.
Right.
You know, once you swing, it doesn't matter if it hits you. Did that hit him, or was that a foul ball?
It did hit him square, I can tell you that, because he wasn't walking around or hollering or doing anything. Here's the last pitch on the Hyundai cam. This right here, you see it coming in. This is the last pitch he fouled off. The pitch previous is the one that almost got him.
And he strikes him out with a curveball. And two are gone. Here comes Rogers, the converted shortstop. 4 strikeouts for Kennedy. This is what Kennedy did in his last outing against the Giants. 8 scoreless innings on just 2 hits.
Burnett even had talk about shutting him down because he had not thrown this many innings as a young player. They're like, you know, got to watch what you do with the innings, monitor everything. He said, hey, this is the best I've ever felt. You know, coming into the ball game, he had 173 innings. They only given up 148 hits over that span. Opposition hitting just 232 against him.
Came in a 3-way trade in the offseason with the Yankees. He was part of the Edwin Jackson deal.
I'm feeling comfortable. You know, I think, too, being with the Diamondback uniform, leaving the Yankees, where he had a lot of headlines around him of coming to the big leagues and just being Captain Nasty. He was 7-3 overall, but in the American League, really struggled to an 0-4 record with a very high earned run average of 817.
Well, he is on some kind of roll right now. 13 straight set down by Ian Kennedy. start saving money on E470. Padres will be in town the next 3 days. That's a rather large series. And then this 10-game homestand will conclude. An off day Thursday on to Los Angeles and then to Phoenix. Boy, the Giants got some bad news today, George. Andres Torres had an emergency appendectomy this morning. He's going to be out from 10 to 14 days.
That ball went a long way.
I didn't think it was going to go that far initially.
Parra, that ball hit all the way off the wall down there by the AT&T sign. Wow. Yeah, you know, depending on how, quite honestly, his abs are in shape. I mean, it depends on how much in shape Torres is to how quick you come back from one of those things. That will be a blow to the top of that lineup, I can tell you that.
He's had a breakout year. Here's Rogers' 0-1 pitch to Parra, and he fouls this off. It's 0-2. Still 2-0 Giants in the third inning.
Lincecum going against Latos in San Diego. Good pitching matchup. Kind of matchups you'd like to see in the month of September in a pennant race.
Another strikeout for Rogers. That's 3 in a row.
Let's see if we can get out Kennedy now. He's gotten a couple of base hits in this game.
He's turned into Ted Williams. Rockies have been out hit 6-1. Must be something in the air today, George. I'm looking around baseball. A lot of low-scoring games. Angels in the fourth inning, 1-0 over Seattle. The Yankees 1-0 over Texas in the sixth inning. National League today, the Phils beat the Mets 3-0. Pittsburgh beat Cincinnati 3-1.
Maybe they got a lot of number ones pitching today, meaning number one guys in the rotation, going to keep the strike zone down. Drive. What are you doing?
Can't get him out. He's 3 for 3.
Hey, the Padres are coming to town. That's right. They're going to be here Monday, 13th through the 15th. So get your tickets now. And the FSN will televise the Wednesday afternoon ball game against the Padres.
Well, Kennedy has some work left to do today because if my memory is right, Dan Herron, before he was traded, had a 4 for 4 day.
Really?
With the Diamondbacks.
Well, he was a DH in college. He could really swing it.
Stephen Drew at the plate. Up the middle, a base hit for Stephen Drew. 2 on and 1 out. That's the third hit of the ball game for Drew. That'll bring up Chris Young. Young is 0 for 2 in a walk officially. He reached on that error by Yoli Chacin on a comebacker in the third inning and eventually scored. It's really the difference in this ball game because at the very least, it would have produced a force out at second had Chacin made an accurate throw to Eric Young and perhaps even a double play.
Fourth inning was up with the bases with runners on first and second. Walk to load the bases. So you're going to get another opportunity with men in scoring position. Young this year struggled with men in scoring position. Is this odd? I mean, this can't be right, but it obviously it is. 24 at-bats with runners in scoring position for the whole season. It seems like he should have a lot more than that according to the stats. Scoring position, 5 for 24, hitting .208. Young. Oh, I'm looking at our Young.
That would be Eric Young.
I'm just tricking you. See if you're paying attention. Young's hitting .290, folks, with 124 opportunities. 36 hits, 7 home runs.
Olivo goes and checks on Rogers. And Joe Beimel's getting loose. It's been a strange game. Two O's in there, 2-1. The Rockies only hit a bouncer in the 5.5 hole from Troy Tulowitzki. That was back in the first inning. Yes. 2-2. He went around.
Well, at Southwest Cam, let's take a look at this on the overhead shot. If did the bat go through the zone? Absolutely it did.
Two pitch, swung on and missed. And that is the second out as Rogers records his 4th strikeout.
Hyundai Cam right a ball up into the zone. Once you've shown a lot of balls down in the strike zone, come above the waist in the hands with some pretty good heat behind it, chance you're going to get it by him, and he did.
Kelly Johnson, 2 walks and a ground out. Retired
Dangerous
on a
bat.
good play by, yes he is, good play by Eric Young and Yoli Chassin. Ian Kennedy at second, a career best 3-hit ball game for Kennedy. Stephen Drew singled. He's at first, and it's fouled off. It's 0-2. The Rockies will have the top of the order. See if things change 3rd time through against Kennedy.
Well, it did yesterday against Lopez.
It's not getting real late, George, but it's starting to get late.
Well, it's starting to get a little tardy. Got time to wake him up. George, shake the bats.
Here's the 0-2. I like the idea. Trying to pour one over that outside corner. Just missed. 1-2.
Sky Cam again to give it to you on the Southwest Sky Cam. Is that ball right on the outer edge, but just not enough to the plate to ring him up.
Two and 2 on Kelly Johnson. Good crowd this afternoon. They're trying to get involved. More than 48,000 last night. Another sellout. Here's the 2-2 to Johnson, and that's outside. It's 3-2.
And now the hazard you run. Once you head to the plate, everybody obviously is going to take off. Defensively, you got to stay fairly deep. Tulowitzki will try to hold Kennedy on. As a pitcher, sometimes you'll try the pickoff move just because they're not on the base path much. Tulowitzki's assuming his spot back at shortstop. It's almost become pretty common that the runner at second base, 3-2 count as a pitcher, they do that old spin move back to second base just to see if they can catch somebody in motion.
And the 3-2. And what a catch by Rogers.
Had it the whole way.
A whole lot of baseball showing. Self-defense, 3rd out. That one worked out okay. What a play by S. Mill Rogers. Haven't been on base since the first inning. Enter the Rocky Mountain Raffle for a chance to support girls and boys clubs and win a downtown Denver home or up to $1 million cash. Don't wait. There are only 5 days left to enter to win the grand prize or one of more than 90 other prizes. Go to RockyMountainRaffle.com. Arizona's left 10 on base. The Rockies have left 3 on, all 3 in the first inning. It wasn't, I mean, it was a good chance to score, but there were 2 outs when the Rockies loaded the bases. Melvin Mora hit a comebacker, and that was it. Now Ian Kennedy is called for the trainer.
Well, what he's doing, he's getting some cramps out on the mound, and so he brought out some water, and that's the thing. He wants to do it, but I think more than anything, he went in and changed out too quick and got out. I'm not sure he has a cramp. It's just you never see a trainer come out and say, okay, get him some water, you know, because he's thirsty on the mound. Now, he was signaling their dugout like 5 times, bring me a drink of water, and everybody's looking around like, going, what's he talking about? Finally, he got the trainer's attention, and he came out. He'll just try to rub out a calf deal and drink some water. So obviously, altitude, you get a little dehydrated if you don't take care of that.
Yeah, it's not a particularly warm day. Cramps can be debilitating. A Quest high-speed pitch. Ian Kennedy at 93. Esmil Rogers has been in the game the last couple of innings for Yoli Chassin, who went just 4 innings. Has hit 96. That's brought to you by Quest, the high-speed internet provider of the Rockies. Now here in the 6th inning, 12 outs left to work with offensively. The deficit is only 2. It seems larger because the Rockies have done nothing offensively, but they'll have the top of the order phrase: Young, Fowler, and Gonzalez.
Well, they will have that. I mean, they've squeaked the ground ball to the left side. Young's got to be patient, get a pitch he can hit, or work a walk out of him to get to first base and then try to do some different things with it. That's the way it started out at this ball game. Back in the first, he walked, but then they struck out Dexter Fowler. Bases ended up loaded. Couldn't come anything out of it. A hit, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts on the day so far for Ian Kennedy.
And all 3 of those walks were in the first inning.
So to say that he has settled in is an understatement.
That would be an understatement, yes. Eric Young walked in the bottom of the first, and he takes the ball there. Reynolds in on the grass to defend against the possibility of a bunt. And that's a strike, 1-1. EY's 11 for 24 on this homestand. 1-2.
Now that strike called by home plate umpire Jerry Davis, and EY looked back at him like, really? Don't be afraid to get some help. Who called this thing? Did he go around the Southwest Skycam? Well, yeah, he did. Sorry.
Two and 2 on Young. You know what's improved for Eric is average quite a bit, George, from the right side of the plate. He's up to 250, hits 293 lefty.
2 base hits from the right side with runners in scoring position.
And the strikeout of Eric Young. That's 3 punch outs in a row as well for Kennedy. He has 6 in the game. Pitch count is excellent, just 74 pitches so far. Dexter, a strikeout and fly ball to left field.
Receive $10 to $15 in free concessions with Power Tickets. Are available for every single remaining home game. 1-800-388-ROCK or go online to ColoradoRockies.com.
1-1.
Three ground ball outs, 6 fly ball outs, 6 strikeouts, and 1 caught stealing in this ball game so far for Kennedy. That is pretty good dominance.
Down the line, foul.
San Francisco now up 3-0. Tell you what, Houston's playing a lot better baseball since a guy named Jeff Bagwell showed up as the hitting coach and Lance Berkman was traded.
And this is pulled on one hop to LaRoche.
I just think they make what should be an easy play end up being a fairly close one. See, here's my whole deal. If you go out to get the baseball and you're moving towards the bag here when you make that catch, just go ahead and make the catch. And now look, here's Dexter, here's the bag, and here you are. You got plenty of time. Kennedy's just now getting off the rubber. So it's like 2 hard strides, and then, okay, I'll just flip it to you. That's worked out the last couple of times. Last night, it did not work out.
Sam Demmel's up for Arizona in their bullpen. Carlos Gonzalez at the plate. Cargo walked in the first, and he hit a ground ball, just like the one you saw a moment ago from Dexter Fowler. Right at Adam LaRoche. Normally very aggressive. Cargo's been pretty patient today. That's aggressive. It's fouled up.
Curveball fired at it just a little quick. But some people in an area of the ballpark probably not anticipating an opportunity for a foul ball.
Yeah, those folks up there generally don't bring their gloves. Just under the Mountain Ranch Club. And this one's fair, and it may roll to the wall. It will. Carlos Gonzalez in his second with a double, as the Rockies reintroduce themselves to the base paths. He'll be in the mix.
31st double of the season for Gonzalez. Here's that breaking ball again. This time stayed up in the strike zone a little bit higher, so he was able to drive this ball down into that right field corner. And Parra waiting for the ball to come off of the fence. He was there in plenty of time. But it's a chain link fence underneath the scoreboard, so when it hits it, a lot of times it just kills the fly to the baseball. That allowed to make it pretty easy for Cargo to get to second base.
It's another example, George, just how hard he hits the baseball, because again, that wasn't right down the line. What's going on here? Jerry Davis having some sort of discussion with Kirk Gibson. What could that be about?
I have no idea.
And now Mel Stottlemyre Jr. will go out. You know what I think it was, George? Did anybody accompany the trainer out? They may have just wanted to make sure that it wasn't a second appearance.
Well, so when a trainer comes out, it's not an appearance. That's a medical appearance.
No, I know,
that's not even listed as one.
No, I know, but just to make sure. That's all I'm just guessing.
But I mean, but when a trainer
Gibson
goes out, it's medical. It's not considered a trip. It has to be a uniformed player or, uniformed coach to go out.
I'm aware of that, but I'm saying that Kirk Gibson he just wanted to make sure that Jerry Davis knew that a trainer was out there and it wasn't a set. I'm guessing as to why they're having a discussion.
I would hope Kurt would know that. I mean, it's got to be a uniformed personnel guy that goes out that's in a uniform to count as a trip.
Okay, what else could that discussion be about?
I have no clue. Unless maybe they saw something wrong with the pitcher Kennedy. You know, maybe he saw something there. You can check him or not. I don't know, but he didn't show anything on the mound. There's no telling. Maybe Jerry wanted to stretch his legs behind the plate. We'll walk up the third baseline.
All right, Troy Tulowitzki at the plate, 1 for 2. The Rockies had their first base runner since the first inning, 2 outs in the 6th. And it's popped up. Easy play, though Kelly Johnson fighting the sun, and he'll make the catch. Gonzalez a double. 2-0 Arizona. back. Offensively, not much to speak of. There are no earned runs in this game. A sac fly. This came after an error. Good runners at first and third. The error was on the pitcher, Yoli Chacin. And then a double by Miguel Montero to drive in a run. But again, both of those runs against Chacin, who went just 4 innings unearned. Rogers pitched 2 scoreless innings. Now the 7th inning with the first 2 hitters scheduled left-handed. It'll be Joe Beimel. Already inning number 7. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Xfinity. Call 1-800-XFINITY. So Beimel aboard. Adam LaRoche, Miguel Montero, Mark Reynolds. It's been a splendid year for Joe Beimel.
19 strikeouts, but a lot of balls put in play that are on the ground over those 63 ball games. 2 for 8 is what LaRoche is against him. Montero in his career has faced him, but not a lot of success either. I'm going to correct that. He has not seen Montero in his career, just LaRoche.
That's high, 2-0.
That's part of that ball game where Jim Tracy's going to patchwork that thing to get into the 8th and 9th inning and try to get the lead out of it and not give up anything else. His club trails 2-0. They're out hit 8-2. So what he's going to do, he'll do the left-right combinations throughout, particularly expanded bullpens, particularly with the recent success of Franklin Morales and Matt Reynolds from the left side. It allows him to double up with that.
Diamondbacks have lost 6 of 7, leading here 2-0 in the top of the 7th. Here's a 2-1 to LaRoche. And Helton will move over, and no need for a PFP drill here. He'll run to the bag himself. 1 out. Let's send it down to Alana Rizzo for today's great Colorado Payback Sideline Report. Hi, Alana.
Hey, guys. Thanks very much. You know, Tulo's community service has been well documented, but now fans have an opportunity to make Troy Tulowitzki the Man of the Year. He is nominated for the Marvin Miller Man of the Year Award. It's an award that he got because he was nominated by his teammates. We all know what he's done for Children's Hospital and Special Olympics Colorado, but he's also part of the Play Sun Smart program, trying to raise awareness about skin cancer prevention. But you're running out of time. You need to go to ColoradoRockies.com or MLB.com and vote for Troy Tulowitzki because it runs through today. Make Tulo the Man of the Year. And in case you're wondering, for the Arizona Diamondbacks, Brandon Webb has been nominated by his teammates, guys.
Hey, Alana.
Yes, sir.
How long's the mullet?
It is now up to 6 inches, guys. It's grown about 2.5 inches since we started this campaign. You can still donate for that. ColoradoRockies.com/mullet. $25 donation gets you a very sweet hat, and more importantly, the funds go to help kids in need, guys.
You know, I think you ought to let it grow all the way through for like 2 or 3 years.
I think he has wanted to do this forever. Now he has a good cause, so nobody can jazz him about it.
Yeah.
He'll look like Manny in 2 or 3 years. 1-1 on Miguel Montero. Hey, quick congratulations, George, to an old friend and a guy I know everybody in the Rockies organization is rooting for, and that's Brad Hopp. Hit a grand slam last night for Tampa.
Yes, he did. Well, his ball club very much chasing the Yankees now for the division title and well ahead in the wild card.
On the ground to second. Eric Young, the top help, 2 outs.
Reynolds 1 for 2. Jim, here's that right-left matchup. Belisle's been warming up down in the bullpen. Beimel does his job. He gets the 2 left-handers out. He'll depart the ball game, and it'll be up to Belisle to get Mr. Reynolds.
And we know how college costs continue to rise. Please go to College Invest. You'll be thrilled that you did so. And get started today. And you don't have to get started by putting thousands of dollars away. You can use a very minimal amount. You can have it automatically taken out of your checking account or your savings account every month. You can set it up with your bank. CollegeInvest.org. It's the way to go. 2 outs and nobody on in the 7th inning. Mark Reynolds will step up 0 for 3, and Matt Belisle with his first pitch, and it's a slider. It's outside the zone, ball 1.
Now, Reynolds has had his trouble with the Colorado Rockies all year, and that's what Matt Belisle is trying to extend here. He's 0 for 4 against him, 67 appearances, 271 earned run average. He's 6 for 45. One of those hits have been a home run, but he struck out 17 times out of those 45 at-bats against the Rockies. All that brought to you by Doug Marino.
That misses. 2 balls and a strike on Reynolds. Here's the troubling thing for Mark. Yes, he's going to strike out. Everybody talks about that, and it's been discussed ad nauseum, quite frankly. But his average is now down to 206. There's the 2-1. That's fouled off. Last year he hit 260. His rookie year he hit 279. In 08 he hit 239. The point is, he can hit, you know, he's going to hit 30+ home runs. It really can't be where you're flirting with the Mendoza line. If it's 250, you know, that's solid. But there are too many empty at bats if you're an Arizona Diamondback fan looking on.
Is it the league has figured him out, or is it he has not figured out the league of late, because it's been a steady decline batting average wise? But again, like you mentioned, a lot of home runs, a lot of RBIs the last 3 years Drew's talking about. See the home run numbers, huge numbers in 09, 44 and 102. You could live with that, even the 260 average.
Oh, 260, that's great. I mean, he's gone again. He throws his bat and spikes the helmet. Jerry Davis showing great restraint. Now he throws him out, and here comes Reynolds. freeze cam. Look at that catch by Esmail Rogers. Self-defense, and it ended an inning. It saved a run. More importantly, it may have saved some injury. Good catch by Esmail Rogers. Our Coors Light Cross-Brewed Freeze Cam. Well, the Rockies, George, are about to catch a break. Tony Abreu comes in for Mark Reynolds, but there's also a change on the mound. Blaine Boyer has come in for Ian Kennedy, who's been dominant. Kennedy threw just 81 pitches, but remember, the trainer went out and saw him before he started the 6th inning. It looked like he was trying to alleviate a cramp, and we're speculating right now, but evidently maybe those cramps have become worse. He can't continue because at 81 pitches, and as well as he'd been pitching, you got to figure Kirk Gibson would have left him in there.
Oh, absolutely would have left him in there, but Blaine Boyer is going to take it over, make his 48th appearance. He had a nasty sinker slider. He was up to 94 miles an hour, but at this ballpark, he's not had a lot of fun over 7 games. 0-2 with a 6 ERA.
So Todd Helton will face Boyer, and the first pitch is outside. Well, I don't want to make it faint praise, but this bullpen, much maligned bullpen for Arizona, has been better in the second half. It was hard to be worse than they were in the first half. In fact, their pen since August 1st has a 3.86 ERA. That's very, very respectable. Back on May 18th, this is a full, basically almost 7 weeks into the season, they had an ERA of 7.98, and it's 3-0 on Helton. Think about that, George, an ERA of 8, you know, fairly deep into the season.
Well, they have the highest earned run average of anybody in baseball right now, particularly the National League. 583 over Chicago, Milwaukee right behind it, and you look at all those teams are not near the top.
And a 4-pitch walk to Helton. He hung around for a moment, wasn't sure Jerry Davis was going to call it a ball. That's not what Kirk Gibson was hoping for Blaine Boyer when he called his name. Houston Street starting to prepare himself, even though the 9th inning is ways off and the Rockies need to do some work offensively. Our AT&T trivia question: Street holds the Rockies record now for save percentage at just under 90. Mora takes a strike. The old record was held by Jose Jimenez. Brian Fuentes, if you're wondering, 3rd on that list. With a very similar save percentage. Inside on Mora, 1-1.
Can't find the strike zone. Having a real difficult time of doing that. Boyer on the season, 51 innings. He's walked 27. And realistically, folks, with his fastball, there should be more strikeouts. But because of it being a sinker, a lot of balls hit on the ground. Only 27 strikeouts.
1-1, fouled off 1-2. Ian Kennedy went 6 innings, did not allow a run. He allowed just 2 hits. He walked 3, he struck out 6. Speaking of understatements earlier today, George, to say the Rockies are thrilled that Kennedy's out of the game would be an understatement. They couldn't figure him out.
Yeah, he did a heck of a job. He really did. Ooh, man. Must have been looking for a slider or something. It was a fastball, 96 up in the zone. You see Melvin's like, yeah, guessed a little bit, guessed wrong. But it couldn't hold everything up.
That'll bring up Seth Smith. Smith nearly hit it out his last time up. One of the few guys to square up a pitch from Kennedy today. He hit the ball right in front of where the relievers sit in the Arizona bullpen, George, and it was gathered in by Chris Young there. And I've said this before, it's not marked on the wall out there, but you see that corner just to the left of the camera shot there. That's 424 feet from home plate. It's actually farther than where it is marked in dead center field. 1 ball, 1 strike on Smith. Starting to see the ball better, starting to put better swings on the baseball the last several ball games. We've actually seen him go to left field with authority a couple times lately.
Coming into the game, 280 average in the month of September for Smith.
25 at bats, 7 hits, and a home run.
You got a left-right combination going in the Rockies bullpen now. Betancourt and Morales.
2-2 as that's chopped foul. Okay, any damage to your windshield, you know the place to go. Safe Light Auto Glass, 303-287-5000, or visit them online at safelight.com. Two to Smith, and he pops it up. Drew backpedaling, makes the catch, and that is the second out.
The Rock-Hinge Conference Center, it's available for game day or non-game day meetings. And you can handle up to 25 to 200 people. To reserve it, call 303-ROCKIES or go to ColoradoRockies.com.
Miguel Olivo struck out twice in the ball game. Thought he was getting Sunday afternoon off. Chris Iannetta played 1 inning and then strained his left calf. Ball 1 on Miguel. Olivo 10 for his last 27 at the plate, including 4 doubles, 6 RBIs. Four RBIs in this series. Ryan Spilborgh's in the on-deck circle in the pitcher spot. Way outside, so another 3-0 count. That's how he started Helton. He lost Helton on 4 pitches. He got the next 2 hitters. Now he's 3-0 on Miguel. Said it a couple times today, George. This is a strange ball game, and that the Rockies obviously haven't done anything offensively. And it feels like the club is down by a considerable margin, but they're down by 2 runs.
Well, realistically, with this club, you're down by a couple of swings of the bat. I mean, you know, get a couple of guys on, steal a base, ball into the gap. All those things. Before you're doing his part, that's the 4th walk of the ball game by their pitching staff.
And now,
excuse me, very quickly. That is the 5th walk.
Yeah. Well, to your point, George, how about 1 swing of the bat now, and you have the lead?
Yep.
Here comes Mel Stoudemire Jr. with Ryan Spilborghs at the plate. And Spilborghs is in a great place offensively. He is 8 for his last 15. 3 ribbies. He's also walked 4 times. Let's update our Breaks Plus poll of the day. Which is tougher, being a closer or place kicker?
Well, we're going to find out how many football people, baseball people. The closer came out.
It's a great question, though.
A very good question.
Now, probably if we asked that during a Bronco game, 80% would say the field goal kicker, right?
I would imagine, yeah. Kind of the only counteractive thing working here is you've got Boyer on the mound who throws the hard sinker. And the reason Spilly's had so much success, he's taken this pitch right out here, folks, and just nailed it. So that sinker's going to be running into him. They ran in off the plate.
Aaron Heilman throwing on the right side in Arizona's bullpen.
Well, not surprising. He's kind of been the 8th inning guy. Gutierrez is the guy that's been closing ball games for them. They just have had trouble getting to the 8th and 9th inning with a lead.
And this ball is lifted to shallow left field. This could drop it. One run is scored. Olivo being sent home. And he'll score to tie up the game. Off the glove of Stephen Drew, and we're all
like other managers, but let me tell you something. You've got a left fielder that normally plays first. He's had limited time out there, particularly in Coors Field, out in left field. You don't have an outfielder out there, so when this ball's hit off of the bat, you got to chug out to it. There's 2 outs. Drew's hit on it. He's going out to look and try to hang on to it. Then you have a trip and a fall of Allen, a base hit that's going to drop. I mean, it's a tough play. But Drew ends up tripping Allen, and when Allen trips, all kinds of confusion. The Rockies take advantage of all of it. All of that on the Hyundai cam, so you really see it in slow motion. Now a chance to win the ball game. The last 2 times Eway's had a shot with a runner on second, he's come through.
7th inning, and the Rockies have tied it on a bloop double off the glove of Stephen Drew. And to George's explanation there, a great effort by Drew. They're going to appeal third.
2 umpires are looking at each other like who had it. Neither one of them got a call.
Well, you got to make a safe call, right?
Well, you better call something.
I wasn't looking there. Were you looking there? I wasn't looking there.
Man, you can't do that. I mean, don't look like you did. You weren't even paying attention to the game. You really look foolish.
Two-two. Eric Young, a chance to give the Rockies a 7th inning lead. Billboard's at second, and it's fouled off.
Yeah, it's that magic that starts to happen this time of the year for this Rocky ball club, man. Oh, man.
It's like somebody waving a wand here. At 20th and Blake, Lodo magic. On display a moment ago outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
But you know what, folks? I'm going to be honest with you. If the guy throws strikes, you're not even worried about it. The 2 walks, so you get a blue pit out of the deal, but the 2 walks are what cost you. That, and I think you should have had somebody else in left field if you're Kirk Gibson at this time. And they have choices.
This is topped up the middle. It's going to be a tough chance for Johnson. And he throws it away. And Spilborghs came halfway down. Arizona actually got a break there because on the errant throw, it hit the fencing in front of the dugout. And we have reason to mention that fencing probably about a dozen times a year in which it saves the team in the field.
Yeah, Gibson's going out to get some help out of their bullpen. Heilman's warming up. The double clutch by Kelly Johnson. The errant throw over into that bench area. He flipped right back because it came off the cement and came back to him. They gave him a base hit there.
Yeah, they gave EY an infield hit. You take it. Just some line drives that end up in players' gloves. Boyer removed. Rockies tied with runners at first and third. Big Sisters, donate your car, you'll get a free tow and tax break, and you'll help change a kid's life. By the Great Colorado Payback, reuniting you with your money. And by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. We hope so. Here's an interesting stat. The Rockies 10-11 when trailing after 6 innings at Coors Field. You say, well, why do you put that up? It's below 500. Well, typically, if you're losing after 6 innings, the percentage is far worse than that. The Rockies almost 500. They were trailing after 6 today. They have tied it up. They have runners at first and third. Aaron Heilman out there. Dexter Fowler. A chance to give the Rockies the lead with Spilborghs at third and a rather quick player at first named Eric Young.
His concern's not there right now. If he wants to go to second, go on. His concern is to get this out and keep Spilborghs at third base. That's all he can think about, because he doesn't want to get in a situation where Fowler's on the base paths, where he walks him, and then he's got to face Gonzalez. The one knock on Eric Heilman over the years with the Mets, and it carried over, is the fact that the left-handers gave him fits.
1 ball, 1 strike. That's a play, going back, Georgia, in fairness. Kelly Johnson's got to make that play.
He has to make that play. I mean, that's to me, they gave him a base hit. Happy for you, but he double clutched the ball out of the glove, or he's out by 25 feet. I mean, I'm happy EY got the hit.
1-1 outside.
Don't get me wrong, but this, when you see plays like that get called a hit, it actually adds fuel to that East Coast stamina of how many extra hits do they get at Coors Field because of the score and all the other elements. And I mean, those are the kind of things that you don't want to have happen. I'm glad EY got a hit out of the deal. It helps his average. What was that? That was nasty. That went about 3 different ways. Now look at that. I mean, his circle changed, but I mean, this thing looked like he started one way, all of a sudden, boom, man, just dropped right at that last second. Good location.
And Fowler gone on another changeup. He doubled up on it, so Heilman gets the Arizona Diamondbacks out of the inning. The Rockies tie it up on a blue double off the bat of Ryan Spilborghs. Olivo getting the equalizer. Your local electric cooperative, delivering reliable power, energy saving tools and more. Visit togetherwesave.com. Well, Houston Street got his 18th save last night. How good is that? Well, keep in mind he missed 3 months. Since he's come back, his 18 saves are 3rd in the National League. That's since the end of June. The Rockies have evened it up with the Arizona Diamondbacks. 2-2 as we go to the 8th. Rafael Betancourt is on board, and the Rockies have made another change. There's Clint Barmas. He's at second base for Eric Young. Brandon Allen will lead things off. He's the seventh place hitter for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Gerardo Parra, and then we'll see a pinch hitter. No, we won't see a pinch hitter. Tony Abreu, that's right, the double switch. Tony Abreu's in the 9-hole.
The appearances 62 have not bought one thing away from what our Rafael Betancourt is able to do. Struck out 2 out of 3 batters last night. Fed off of that crowd when he got in the head in the count in the tight ball game. got him fired up, man. He has just been so good for the Rockies this year. Big, strong bat at the plate, Brandon Allen.
Rockies with momentum back on their side. They've been down 2-0 since the top of the third inning. So Ian Kennedy gets an attaboy. He pitched well for 6 innings. He had to leave prematurely, we believe, because of cramps after 81 pitches, and that worked to the benefit of the Rockies. 2-0. It's now 5-0 San Francisco in the 5th inning against San Diego, and that incredible run by Matt Latos is over. He had gone 16 starts without allowing 3 or more runs, which is a major league record. Actually, with 15 straight, 5+ innings, 2 runs or less. Well, he got touched up today. Buster Posey a home run in that ball game for San Francisco.
Yeah, Posey had yesterday off. Did not play in the ball game.
He won't, George, get many more days off. 2-2. Houston has defeated the Dodgers now 7-4. 2-2 count on Brandon Allen, leading off here in the top of the 8th inning. Rockies have been out hit 8-4. Just outside, it's 3-2.
I tell you this, I think Jerry Davis has done a great job of maintaining the strike zone and being extremely consistent with it. You can see what the Rockies trying to work everything away on that outside corner. They're not trying to give him anything on the inside corner.
Now, Betcourt's walked only 7 guys all year. It's even unusual to see him in a 3-ball count. 3-2 on Allen. And he misses. A leadoff walk for Allen. A reminder tonight at 5 on Rockies Weekly with Jim Tracy. We'll celebrate Osvaldo Jimenez's historic 18th win. Take a look back at his road to the milestone. And we'll also take a look at Carlos Gonzalez as he leads the National League in hitting and is among the league leaders in 2 other major categories. Rockies Weekly with Jim Tracy. That's tonight at 5 right here on FSN Rocky Mountain. This is Gerardo Parra. Tony Abreu on deck. And the bunt is a good one.
Yeah, you anticipate that late in the game, beyond the 7th inning in a tie ball game. You're going to lay the bunts down, advance the runners, and just hope that the guys behind you do their job. Stephen Drew swung the bat well today with 3 hits in the ball game. Abreu getting him one of his first looks. He's got a lot to live up to in the 9-hole, though. Kennedy was 3 for 3.
Yeah, that's about half their offense today, right?
Well, he had out-hit the Rockies at one point, 4-3-1.
So Abreu's a tough out. Brandon Allen at second base in a 2-2 ball game. One ball, one strike on Tony Abreu. Missed a whole season 2 years ago with hip surgery.
Well, that seems like that's kind of become a common deal. The labrum tear, whatever, you know, A-Rod had it. A couple other guys have had that surgery. Beltran, when it got Beltran in New York. No, that was Delgado that got that. But there was guys in baseball that, you know, you didn't hear about that until just the last couple of years.
One and two on Abreu.
I anticipate if they're able to get Abreu, they'll walk through and then put Young up at the plate with 2 outs and take the right-on-right match. What do you think, Dougie?
Great crowd again at Coors Field. After a sellout last night, looks like there's somewhere in the neighborhood of 35,000 this afternoon. That's a guess.
They're still counting heads. Be a little while.
Got it. Boy, that was big. And now we'll see what the strategy will be with Drew coming up, George, as you suggest, with first base open.
But I think it's that opportunity. You go ahead and walk the guy and move him over a little bit, get him out of there. You know, don't give him that chance to beat you. The left-handed bat. That ball got by Abreu like somebody forgot to tell him it was coming. And they are going to go ahead and pitch to him.
So Drew with 3 hits and 4 trips this afternoon at the plate with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Ball 1. Rockies in the bottom of the 8th inning will have Cargo, Tulowitzki, and Helton.
Just like you want it.
And you like them to hit every inning. Rules don't allow that unless you do
Well, their mom and dads would be happy.
Tune-up.
3 for 5. That's what Stephen Drew is against Betancourt. Young 1 for 4.
And a 2-0 to Stephen Drew. Ground ball to Helton. A lot of top spin. He's going to need some help. Betancourt is there. Well done. Rafael Betancourt does his thing. He strands Brandon Allen at second. 2-2 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Institute in Denver, where you can make the world your workplace. Arizona got 2 unearned runs in the 3rd inning against Yoeli Chacin, who went just 4 innings. Yoeli's had some command issues, did not give up an earned run, obviously. Rogers' next couple of innings, and the Rockies were befuddled by Ian Kennedy, but it looked like he had to leave after 6 innings because of cramps, and the Rockies tied it up. Aaron Heilman now to Cargo. And the sinker has a changeup, actually, with a lot of sink on it.
Man, that's what he struck Fowler out with, back-to-back. That thing was nasty, just like it was to Fowler.
Gonzalez finally broke up that long run for Kennedy with a double to right. And it's 1-1. Gonzalez, Tulowitzki, and Helton. And back up the middle and on through. Another base hit for Gonzalez. And the Rockies have the go-ahead run on to lead off the 8th inning. Cargo 2 for 3 this afternoon. Time for our job done right player of the series. And a tip of the cap to the Rockies shortstop, Troy Tulowitzki. 4 for 9, a couple of home runs, 3 ribbies, also a double. And great play every night at shortstop. It's presented by the Colorado Association of Mechanical and Plumbing Contractors. To have your next building or service project done right the first time, visit jobdoneright.org. Good speed aboard in Gonzalez, the team leader in stolen bases. Tulowitzki at the plate. In there for a strike. You know, Jim Tracy, George, was adamant yesterday that he did not want Carlos Gonzalez unless he absolutely had to swing the bat. He stayed away from him. He played defense in the 9th inning. And, you know, a fresh mind, 24 hours really of not having to swing after playing virtually every day for weeks on end. And it's paid off this afternoon, hasn't it?
Well, absolutely it will, because he got an off day Saturday. He's going to get another one on Thursday when the Rockies travel. But you're not swinging a bat. You might be riding on a plane, getting into a hotel, but you're not swinging a bat or the daily grind of a baseball game. So that kind of helps to get 2 within those 5-day period.
Tulo is in a ditch, 0-2. Helton on deck. They want to come in. moving to second. Thank you very much. In the scoring position, Carlos Gonzalez on the wild pitch by Heilman.
Man, there's everything open up everywhere now for you. But I still think runner on base like this, let's see how far out this ball was away. I mean, quite honestly, that's missed poorly, but it's also a job as a catcher. You got to get out and do the best you can to block a ball versus trying to backhand something. I mean, you see this, the most wild pitches in the National League, 78.
You know, George, a lot of times with teams that are struggling, and there's no question Arizona's had a poor year. They have 57 wins, 85 losses. If you watch them, you see why they end up losing ball games. A ball out in the middle of left field that's not caught, 2-run score, a wild pitch. Now the Rockies have a chance to go ahead. They're not making the other team.
It's not the well-oiled machine you've watched of the Diamondbacks in the past, and I think that's probably something that started a year and a half ago, and it's something Kirk Gibson's trying to change the face of this ball club, and had till he got here. They play much better baseball.
2-2 now on Tulowitzki as he's back in the count. Gonzalez at second. Bottom of inning number 8.
Yeah, they're trying to get the attention of Kelly Johnson to move back more into the hole versus leaving that wide open on the right side. He's holding Cargo at second and then getting back because they're thinking Tulowitzki might run that thing to the right side.
Now the count has run full. Good teams find ways to win. Bad teams find ways to lose. And this is another pop-up in the infield. One out as Abreu secures the baseball. That'll bring up help. Fans, if you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies score 7 or more in a baseball game, for the Rockies Taco Special, here's what you do. Text the keyword taco to 95323. We're going to put help nod, set up a double play opportunity with Melvin Mora.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. Todd not having the year that he normally has, that's been obvious to everybody, but it's still that threat. That his 300 career lifetime average, the doubles, he tied Ted Williams the other day. The doubles with 525, that it's not going to give him something to hit to win by putting a second base. You put it in the double play, and you bring Moore up to the plate, a right-handed bat.
Runners at first and second. Melvin Mora at the plate. Comebacker with the bases loaded in the first and then a couple of strikeouts. Last night he was 2 for 4. Way outside. I think Moore's going to get a heavy dose of that hard sinker from Aaron Heilman.
And whatever it is, it ties up to the inside, doesn't let you extend those arms. See, Moore really jumped to that front side that time, dropped the elbow close to the body, trying to go to the opposite field with that. Trying to fight it off and get on top of it. "20 pitches, 11 for balls, 9 strikes.
Gonzalez, a leadoff single. Went to second on a wild pitch. And this is slowly hit. No chance for 2. And Abreu will get Mora at first. So now runners at second and third. You have Smith, the left-handed bat, coming up with first base open, and Olivo behind him. Let's see how this is played by Kirk Dixon.
I think you got to walk it.
Well, he's getting down to crouch, Miguel Montero. Mr. Late Night a year ago, Seth Smith, typically very, very good from the 7th inning on in his young career. 1-0 on Smith.
A lot of times managers will give him 1 or 2 pitches to see if their guy can get it in the strike zone, then they'll walk them. He's even to count up 1-1, he'll let it continue. Change up, Southwest Sky Cam, kind of the heart of everything, and then tail to that outside corner.
Two and one. You know, it's interesting looking at the outfield alignment, and Smith's a pull hitter, but clearly Heilman's going to work him away, and the outfield swung around toward right. On and missed on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Now it's 2-2. Two on Seth Smith. Rockies and Diamondbacks tied at 2. Mel Stottlemyre Jr., Kirk Gibson in the middle. Bo Porter, the bench coach, is on the outside of that trio. Jim Tracy, 152 and 106 since taking over as Rockies manager. Second best in baseball in that time frame. Ground ball to Johnson. And Arizona works out of it. The Rockies had a great opportunity there in the bottom of the 8th. This season, it's easier than ever to buy and sell Rockies tickets on StubHub, the official fan-to-fan marketplace of the Colorado Rockies. Brought to you by Xfinity Voice, unlimited local and long distance. Call 1-800-XFINITY. By Dex One, marketing solutions, business results. And by Geico, 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. Here's the deal. The Rockies have tied up the Diamondbacks. They got 2 in the 7th. We go to the 9th, tied at 2. Houston Street, ahead or even at home, takes the baseball in the 9th inning. Let's check in with Tom Helmer. Tom, no singing today, I guess.
No, it's too tense. It's just too tense when I can't relax and get the cords loose. But we'll talk about the life of Ryan, who had that blue pit to drive in a pair of runs. Ryan Spilborgh's a great effort pinch hitting today. Also, we'll talk about Esmail Rogers coming in relief, pitching 2 strong innings for the Rockies. And, of course, we'll get you into the clubhouse and hopefully talk with the Rocky that hits the game-winning hit. It's coming up after the game. Drew?
I like that plan. All right, Tom, thank you. Rest the vocal cords for 24 hours. Jonathan Herrera is in now for Melvin Mora. And Houston Street on board for the 39th time. He's been pitching very well.
It's been really special. 39 and a third, 36 punch-outs. You see the save opportunities, 18 of 22. He's just trying to keep it tied now as he'll work through the middle of their order. Johnny Herrera at third. He'll hit 9th in the lineup, by the way. They've made a double switch.
Well, that whole bullpen has been on real solid footing for the Rockies. Especially here over the last couple of weeks. Up with a slider, and he missed up high to Chris Young. He's going to face 3 dangerous hitters: Young, Johnson, and LaRoche. Chris Young 0 for 3 and a walk. Did reach on an error and scored a run back in the 3rd. 2-0. Here's the 2-0 to Chris Young. 2-1. Padres finally on the board, but it's still 5-1 San Francisco in the 7th inning. Again, in the NL West, beginning play today, the Padres led the Giants by a game, the Rockies by 2.5. Atlanta and St. Louis tonight at Turner Field. This is in the air, well hit left center field, but Fowler sees it and has it. A long out. And that'll bring up Kelly Johnson, who is 0 for 2 and 2 walks, but that doesn't tell the whole story for Kelly Johnson this afternoon. He was out on a very good play by Eric Young in the hole between 1st and 2nd in the 5th inning, and then, or actually the 4th inning, and then he was robbed of a hit on a bullet back through the originator that somehow Esmail Rogers in self-defense caught. 0-1. We haven't seen that much lately, George.
Now, you know what? And again, it's one of those deals where he's had so much success with his fastball slider combination.
And maybe that was a slider, you know that?
Yeah, if it was, it backed up. But I mean, the thing is because when he did throw the changeup a couple of times, he got beat by it. And I think the philosophy behind it all, why do you get beat with your 3rd best pitch? If you're going to get beat, particularly in the 8th and 9th inning, you do it with one of your top 2 pitches.
1-2 on Johnson. And he strikes out Kelly Johnson. 93-mile-an-hour tailing heat. 2 outs in the 9th inning.
Well, this ball's going to rise a little bit. I know they say that can't happen, but watch the ball as it comes up, and it's going to fade up and go up into the strike zone.
On Adam LaRoche. That's out of play down the left field line. miss. Straight on 1, 2, 3 ninth. And now the Rockies would love to win it in walk-off fashion here in the bottom of the ninth. Rockies 2 and the Diamondbacks 2. Rockies looking for the sweep. They tied it up at the bottom of the 7th inning on a bloop double by Ryan Spilborghs off the bench. And now they'll try to win it. Miguel Olivo will lead things off. And there's a new pitcher out there for Arizona, Sam Demmel. Sam Demmel, who can run his fastball up to about 96. More in a setup role of late. The opposition hitting 289 against him. So Demmel will see Olivo first. Johnny Herrera in a double switch will bat second. Flip Varmus scheduled third. So here we go. Demmel against Olivo, and I was way off on the attendance. 41,504. What a great crowd here at Coors Field. That's in there for a strike. Fastball slider type pitcher, Demmel.
Well, fastball will run it up to 96 miles an hour, 93 to 96. A cutter at 93, averages 89 when he's throwing it.
He goes to short.
He goes to the slider a lot, about 20% of the time. He does throw a changeup, so it's a 4-pitch mix, but really relies on his fastball.
Well, our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast, not exactly the typical Cold Hard Blast you're looking for, but this one worked out just like a 2-run home run into the seats. Stephen Drew couldn't make the catch. Brandon Allen couldn't get there. And it turns into 2 runs for the Rockies when they needed it most. Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. Johnny Herrera with his first AB. Hero from last night with a sac fly. And he takes strike 1. Matt Reynolds is throwing for the Rockies in their bullpen. If this goes to a 10th inning. Herrera got the sac fly against Mike Hampton last night from the right side. Here he is from the left side. And Johnny pulls it toward the hole. Johnson could go under his glove. And then he almost didn't go and get the baseball. He thought Parra would get it. Johnny took a turn as if to go to second. Johnson recovered in time to prevent that. So the Rockies get a break there. With one out, Herrera reaches Barmes at the plate.
When you're doing that crossover to get to the baseball, you just got to stay down all the way through the crossover. And you do see that he crosses over here. He just doesn't stay down on the baseball, and it gets right to the left of the glove and on by him on the Hyundai cam.
An error on Kelly Johnson. Barmes with his first plate appearance.
Seven errors on Johnson.
Now, Jonathan Herrera, if you're wondering, I know he's a diminutive guy, but he's not really a base stealer. He's not a flyer. He's got one bag this year. If that's running through your mind at home.
Yeah,
Fowler's on deck.
Look for more maybe a hit and run type deal. If you're going to put him in motion.
2-0 on Clint.
Pretty good discipline for a guy that hasn't had a lot of at-bats. Clint Barmes of late to lay off of that pitch.
Clint has just 3 at-bats on the homestand. Eric Young's been playing every day at second base. 2-0. Two and one. Carlos Rosa on the right side, and then Jordan Alberto is the left-hander. Arizona in the outfield has squeezed the gaps a little bit. You see a lot of NL West teams that are more familiar, it seems, George, with Coors Field do this.
Well, they also study what do the Rockies outfielders do. You know, they're playing in there 81 games. Just see how they play defense.
Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it would if you're an advanced scout that's paying attention. It would. How defensively do they handle this ballpark?
Herrera started up, shut it down, and pitch was fouled off, obviously, by Clint Barmes. So it's 2-2. Sam Demmel. Started the year in the A's organization, picked up in June in a trade. And pulled foul.
In the area that Barmes likes, it's that middle half in about belt high. He got one on a slider that hung at 83. Just a little quick get to it. Ray, you will hug the line with Barmes up. You can see the pitches kind of couple in, couple away. They haven't been consistent where they're trying to work it. And that last pitch that was in, he fouled off. You actually wanted that slider away.
Snap throw and safe there. No swing at the plate. So it's 3-2 on Barmes. Dexter Fowler waits on deck. Behind him, Carlos Gonzalez. There's one out in the 9th inning. The Rockies need just a single run. Tied at 2. Two outs as Clint goes down swinging. And Fowler's being called back.
Giambi, 94 mile an hour on the Hyundai cam. This thing was flat, nasty. It's a ball out of the zone. And that's why Clint was upset. He went on a hard sinker down and just didn't big connect on the thing.
So here comes Giambi. Pinch hitting for Dexter Fowler.
Something Giambi would like to change this year is the opener he's taken against Arizona. 16 times he's yet to get a hit against this franchise.
Perfect opportunity for number one.
I like the odds. That'll be in his favor. There's no more left-handed bats left for Mr. Tracy on the bench now.
Herrera, the winning run at first base, 2 outs. Giambi, a home run already on this homestand.
We're looking at the Rockies bench right now, too. Jay Payton will be the guy to go to the outfield if it continues on to the 10th inning. It's fortunate to have a veteran outfielder to be able to put out there in that situation.
Missy Cargo go to center and Payton to left. This ball is driven to center field and deep. Young going back, looking up. Giambi has done it. A 2-run walk-off. Jason Giambi, 2 in a row. Sight in baseball. Then 30 guys hugging at home plate. Rockies down 2-0. They win it 4-2, and they have swept the Arizona Diamondbacks like the Cincinnati Reds before them. 2-run walk-off pinch hit bomb for number 23. Oh, it's fun to be a Rocky now, isn't it? Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Guess what we decided on? He went down and got a pitch maybe out of the strike zone. 6th career walk-off home run, 8th career walk-off hit. And the Rockies now have their 3rd longest winning streak in team history. Jason Giambi with 2 outs in the 9th, a 2-run walk-off blast. And the story just gets grander here in Lodo. 10 straight wins, 7-0 on the homestand. Street gets the win. Devil takes the loss. Downstairs we go. Alana Rizzo with the man of the moment.
What another incredible walk-off hit by Jason Giambi and the Colorado Rockies. Jason, I don't know how much of a book you had on Demmel, but just take us through your at-bat.
Well, I was just looking for something I could drive, get it in the gap, and luckily I got a pitch down and I got it up in the air.
You sweep the Padres, you sweep the Reds, you sweep the Diamondbacks. This club has a 10-game hitting streak. Can you feel Rocktober?
I can, definitely. It's incredible. I think it's a mustache.
Whether it's the mustache, Troy Tulowitzki's mullet, or Carlos Gonzalez every time he steps to the plate, this team has something going on that's extremely special. What have you noticed over the last 10 games to make you guys so hot?
Well, we've definitely put ourselves in the spot. We've had a lot of adversity this year. Guys being hurt, we just didn't quit. And with these great fans of Colorado, how can you quit?
No question about it. Finally for you, just how important is it, the run that you guys have been on so far in the last 10 games, but you mentioned it, the will for this team to not quit. This is a very special club in that clubhouse.
Oh, it's unbelievable. That's the reason why I came back, is because these kids are unbelievable. And, we just need to keep playing well. We have San Diego coming in, and, we're giving ourselves a shot.
He says it's the kids that are unbelievable, but it's the veteran Jason Giambi getting the job done. Nice job, Jason. Thank you. All right, guys, back in center field. It is loud over here.
Well, we're not going to go to center field just yet. We're going to come upstairs. Alana, nice job. Jason Giambi called upon to pinch hit for Dexter Fowler, and he hits one 420 over the center field wall. It doesn't matter. I mean, the script plays out differently every night, but the result, most importantly, seems to be the same.
You know, the first hit he's had against Arizona this year, he's 0 for 16, and he gets the big blast, and they score. And you just let that crack open, hitting in the door a little bit. The error by Johnson, all of a sudden now you got an opportunity to come in, and then you get a blast to pick your spot to win the ball game. And when you've got magic like this going on with a team in the locker room and in the dugout, everybody starts to believe. And every button you push as a manager pushes in the right direction.
Yeah, you had the bloop double that worked out to tie the game. But let's not forget the work of the bullpen. Chassin was a little bit off command-wise. He goes 4 innings. Then Rogers comes in. He does a great job. Betancourt and Street later on. Every button pushed right now. When Jim Tracy picks up that phone and calls those guys down there that are 450 feet away in the bullpen, they all seem to work.
It's like he says, you need great friends and a good bullpen to win in baseball. And I would agree with him 100%, but if you've got to be able to manage the bullpen and manage what you want out of that bullpen in situations. And let's not forget, Jeff Francis is pitching tomorrow. So that's what I said about this about Jim Tracy. I'm going to win today's ball game. We'll worry about Monday when it hits, but I need to win today's game. And that's why he put people in position of success. They were obviously successful.
They had to pick up 5 innings, but you know what? Giambi saved them having to pick up even more innings if it went to extra innings. It was another great day at Coors Field, and it ended with this blast off the bat of Jason Giambi. The 39-year-old kid goes deep, and the Rockies win again. 10 in a row. Post-game report.